Hey guys, how's it going? Danconia here and welcome back to Overcoach. So, we are back on board with a Reinhardt player. We're on board with Heathens here. So, this is a platinum game. I believe this is a 6 stack if I'm not mistaken. It's obviously on console because you can see the underscores and the spaces. You only get them on console. So, let's take a look at this Reinhardt player and we see if he's a part of my Discord. And he has a lot to say about his Reinhardt. He says he's very bumper-esque, so I'm very interested to see it. And he's immediately switched to Winston, so it's not very bumper-esque. Okay. So they're going to run the dive here on the first point. Now this can work. Interesting pick for the sim, though. So we need to be very, very careful we don't get stunned up. If we get chain stunned here, we're like dead. Dead. It's going to be tough to get in. That Ash should die. Nice. Got the Ana, so we should win this point now. Good. We're zapping people just like a Winston should. Love to see it. Nice. And the point is ours. Pretty simple stuff. Nicely executed. Sim can always be one to catch people off guard, especially at this level, so yeah, I like it. I'm interested to see what we do on this second point though, because obviously a lot of high ground to play with here. We stood still, which is not a great start. I think we tabbed out there or something. We can't tab out because it's not console, so I don't know what we were doing. Anyway, jump up. We see a Reaper, we're like, oh, let's get out. Nice. I'm going to keep going in, keep going out, keep getting that cleave damage. We've got our primal rage up. We need to go in. Nice. We're getting all the kills. This D.Va's going to get demected and dead. I like that we're using the jump to impact damage. You've seen that there with the D.Va. You're jumping into her to impact damage as she got out of her mech. We're going to take high ground here. I would dive in on that Reinhardt. What are we doing here? What's the plan? The D.Va's on our own. The Reinhardt's charged into our team. There's also a Reaper up there. And your team's main tank is standing up here doing nothing. Jump in! Jump! There we go. It took a little while to do that. We spent a good 5-10 seconds out of the fight doing nothing while they were engaging on some of our team. We need to counter dive into them to try and protect our team. Hold them at the door, they're not coming through. They've wasted their nano. They've got a lot of ults coming up. That's a big slam. That's a big meteor strike right there. Good value from the Doomfist. We've got D.Va Bomb, we've got Primal Rage. We've been holding on to this Primal Rage for a while. In all fairness, we could have used Primal Rage and had another one up by now, so it is a case of perhaps holding on to a little bit too long, but there hasn't been a massive opportunity to use it, so I'm not too worried about it. Again, the Sim is getting value. Now we use Primal Rage. Now we don't though, because we got the boost. We used Primal Rage too early. Now, why am I saying that? Because you've still got Nano active on you. The Nano fades now. This is when you should be using Primal Rage. Because you can do a surprising amount of damage with your Tesla cannon and the jump melees, which I don't know what you're doing because it's console, but you can do a surprising amount of damage with the Tesla and jump melees with the Nano boost, and then activate your Primal Rage after the Nano boost wears off, which means you can keep on going. Little bit of an overlap there. And we didn't have our barrier up to stop that, although we did have a big sim wall, so that's kind of a And that's something else we need to think about as well, is D.Va bombs, we can bubble them. There are some insane moments where Winstons have bubbled D.Va bombs. It's amazing to see a Winston bubble a D.Va bomb sometimes, because I've seen Winstons do it in midair. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm rambling. We're on Reinhardt now. Good old Rein battle. Can we out-Rein the the other Rhine? Can we win the Battle of the Mines? Because that's very often what a Reinhardt battle comes down to. We've got very little barrier, we're recharging it, it's very, very nice. Now we're pushing in, now we know. They've wasted their mortality field. That's good. Their Rhine has used Shatter, but we're backing off here because we've lost both DPS, which is a sensible thing to do. A very 6-stacky thing to do as well, so clearly the communication is there. We are still in the fight though. We've lost both of our DPS. We need to be a bit further back. We're kind of feeding them ult charge here. We are getting up our shatter pretty quickly though. Right, so we've got both support ults, which should give us an interesting... brave. We've got the nano. So that was... And you're doing it again here. That was brave, I would say, charging into that room with that Reinhardt. Because the rest of the team did kind of collapse in onto you, and I think without the nano, I don't think you would have got out of that. No. No. You can see it on the screen, can't you? Our Briggs died. Our Symmetra has died. You are in the back on your own. The rest of your team is disengaging and you've used a shatter. That's not brilliant, is it? And I think we know that isn't brilliant. I think we know that wasn't the play there. We should never have charged in the first place. We should never have charged in the first place. That was overextension and you fed them your ult there. Big time. And now we've only got the Diva Bomb to work with at the moment. And they've got quite a few ults, you might notice. So this should be a pretty much impossible fight for us, I'm not going to lie. They used their ults well. I like that you didn't charge that Diva. I really like that. Some Rhines would have done that and they would have overextended and died because of it. Some Rhines see a sleeping target and they're like, charge! And it's not always the best course of action. We're building ults pretty quickly here with the sim barriers coming up, and the Junkrat is actually getting a lot of ult charge, and the Ana as well is going to have an enemies pretty soon. You are going to charge this Rhine though. It's brave, and you're not in position for that bomb now. Luckily no one died from it though. He is well overextended, so you punish him. Big time punish him. That was ridiculous on that Reinhardt. And that's a bigger overextension than what you did just now. Just get your work done, get your work done. Burn through, because you're going to get a shatter here. And you are going to put them on their backside, just like that. Which should be able to get you through this fight. I don't know what the Ash is doing there. In all honesty, this is very brawly. This is very brawly. Oh, no. We didn't anticipate that shatter. We didn't track ults. Nice. Push the aggression. Nice. That got very brawly. We need to fall back here, though. We're DPSing. Fall back to your team. Fall back to your team for a second. Right. You're coming up on another shatter. You've built this shatter really, really quickly, so that's good. How are you going to use it? Bang. Nice. Very nice. That should seal you this point. Just cleave through them. Very nice. You building that shatter up really quickly was actually really pog. Interesting. So I think you can be a tiny little bit aggressive. I know what you were doing there. You were going up to hold the door. It's doable, but I wouldn't do it on your own, which you were there. So yeah, just be aware of that. But all in all, not too bad. Not too bad. The change from the change to the Rhine was definitely the correct thing to do on that point, because Winston is incredibly difficult to pull off on third point of Eichenwalde. And yeah, I think it's a little bit of over-aggression sometimes. And I think also you didn't track ults too brilliantly, but this 6-stack seems to be working pretty well in terms of... Well, I say that. They know when you need help, But very often, like when you went into the room, when you charged the Reinhardt, when you went in that room, in the third point, I think your team invested the nano because they thought you were going to die. And that means you overextended. So you couldn't use the nano aggressively because you were using it more defensively. In the end, it works out, but it's just a thing to think about. Why is this Mercy pocketing you? She should be pocketing the Ash. So, where are we going to hold? Sim's going to put her turrets up there. That is hell to deal with. I love it. We're going to hold at the corner, and I like holding at the corner. Nice early fire strike, get you 10% charge. They're going to use dive. Interesting. All fairly selfish, but what is she doing? What are you... Punish her! You take her mech for that. I mean, that was feeding from that diva. Big time. Careful of this Reaper, he will punish you. Nice, nice, nice. I don't know... That fight for that enemy team was lost when that diva just full sended into the team. I don't know why she did that. She's just fed her mech away. And fed your ult charge, which is brilliant. You're coming up on a shatter now because of her. So thank the diva. Also, Mercy's building her Valkyrie really nicely as well. I wouldn't be chucking fire strikes out now. Simply because you've got your shatter. That's all fire strike is for, unless you see a really low target, and there is no low target to use your fire strike on. So that means every fire strike you put out is more healing they do, which is more ult charge. We need to go back. We need to... Yeah, this is a difficult one to win. No, we're investing a lot into this. We need to win this fight now. So I wouldn't have necessarily invested the shatter into a grab there, necessarily. You're going to win this fight, luckily. I think we could have held the shatter there. I think we could have held the shatter there. Because it was a good purple from the Ana as well into the grab. I think we could have just cleaved through that with our hammer. But in all fairness, another caveat to that, or another side to that, is the fact that you use the shatter, you're halfway to another one because you did so much damage with the hammer. So, yeah, there's arguments for either. We have seen quite a few plays where, just to seal the win on the point, they'll use a shatter into a grab. We don't really want to keep fire striking into this diva. Again, she's full sending into the team. Punish her. You know what we did there, though? I know exactly what you did there. That's brave, Mercy. How did he not get pinned? Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see this again. So, we can actually go through this. You turned your back on the rest on their team, right? Because you wanted to punish her. I understand why you would punish her. Because she is just full sending in your team. But she acted as a distraction there. What I would have done here is pin her. What I would have done here is pin her back to the back of the point. You would have hit her into that, whatever that hut thing is over there. Just past your Ana there. Hit her into that. You're out of the line of sight of the rest of their team. So they can't pump damage into your back. And she's out of position. She will get demeched from that because she's just in a stupid position. So, but what you do is you cleave into her and they shoot you in the back. And they nade you so you can't be healed. And you die from that. So, yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have charged her because she used her boosters as well. So she couldn't avoid the charge. And now they've lost their tank line. Mercy shouldn't res this. She shouldn't res this at all because she's not going to survive. She's in the middle of the enemy team and just rezzing. She could have perhaps sustained on the point. But I want to see this. See this, Winston, here? How does he not get pinned? How is this not a pin? Jeez, that's broken, Blizzard. He should have absolutely been pinned there. Not that it would have done you any favours. You're dead anyway, but... Isn't it a nice feeling just seeing a Reaper coming towards you and you can do nothing about it as Rein? I don't know how he didn't get pinned there. That's just... Rein is still broken. It's 2020 and he's still broken. How long has he been in the game? 5 flipping years. He was in the beta. Come on now. But yeah, it was a case of take the diva away from her fight, basically, because she'd overextended. But instead, you turned and just cleaved into her, and they just shot you in the back with so much damage, plus the purple, and there's no way you were going to survive it. So I would have pinned her to the back of the point, and then she would have been horrifically out of position with no escape. We don't want to go in a close swing with a Reaper. Where are we going? Where are we going? So, we are the main tank. We're the main tank. We want to be at the front of the team. We want to be the person enabling our team, right? We're not enabling our team walking around here. We're just... I think I know what you're doing. I think you're doing a bumper, and I think you're going for a flank shatter. You're at 98%, so you're going to have to fire strike first. Or you might not to, actually. Don't use it. Don't use it. Now use it. Oof! No, 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 no. Bad shatter. Ooh, so I know what you were doing there. I know what you were doing there. Now, if this is a 6 stack, that could have worked. But your Zarya used Grav. So, yeah. What I would have done is I would have said to my Zarya in that case. Ooh, we're going to Orisa Sigma. I would have said to my Zarya in that case, don't use your Grav. Let me try the flank shatter first. You would have got a big shatter from just the flank shatter there. Not advocating for flank shatters, they don't work all that well. Most of the time. Okay. Yeah, because... Tough. Tough. Are we going to stay on the Sigma Orisa? Here we are. Are they going to stick on the Winston Diva is my idea. Push a bit forward. Too passive. You're main tank, put passive. We have actually gifted them some payload movement there. I don't think this is necessarily the play here. So they were coming in with ults there, but I don't think Orisa Sigma was necessarily the play. I would have stuck to the Rein Zarya. Yeah. I don't know why we switched to Orisa Sigma. I don't know why we did that. But you didn't get your... there was no massive halts there. We were a little bit too passive. They had a lot of payload movement, which means on that final point, we got one fight. We got one fight, and they were already halfway through the point. So once they won that fight, they win the point. So we didn't burn time off of their clock effectively there. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. But going back to the attack, we're going to be on the Reinhardt, but we're going to go with a Diva this time. Okay. Pretty meta. Pretty meta. Not going to lie. Not going to be in the Overwatch League the next 2 weeks, but pretty meta. It reminds me of home. Oh, Diva. Okay. We're also going to go Mei and Sim. TP to point. Lock him out of point. Just sit your backside on point. That's what I do. This is a comp that can work. But I'm interested to see if we're anticipating a Bastion here. And double barrier, which is honestly one of the most horrible things. This is... the enemy team comp is one of the most horrible things you can play against. Did you anticipate a shot over there? And that's why she Maywalled? Where is this comp? Oh, okay. It's up on the high ground. Nice Maywall. Nice Maywall. We need to push in and get below them, because they can't damage us if we're below them. Too far. Too far. You're purple. You need to get out. We're going to go and pin this Bastion off high ground, aren't we? Okay. So how did this not work? Now, I'll tell you how this didn't work. It's because you went into that room. You kill chased into that room, and that's what happened. Although, you've turned the fight. Nearly. This Reinhardt shouldn't survive too long. So, the reason that started to go a little bit pear-shaped and you had to turn it round is because you pushed into that room and your team didn't go with you and they dropped down, so your team got ripped apart. Nice! Your team got ripped apart by the Bastion who dropped because there was no barrier to just shut him down, kind of. So that's what made that tougher than it actually should have been, because the rotation wasn't too bad, but we got very aggressive there going into that room, and we're actually in somewhat turns lucky to survive that. But we did break it down fairly efficiently, and they're going to stick on the Bastion for some reason. Don't ever play Bastion on second point Eichenwalde. Don't do it. You'll get nothing done. What does he hope to do up there? Oh my god, no, it's a tank. Oh my, oh no, 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 no. This is gonna work, isn't it? This is gonna work, isn't it? Nice, no, nice, good job. Nice play. We're coming up on ults where we can get the second point. Unlucky. Dude, this ball is annoying. This is Hammond play 101. So we've got Nano, we've got Barrier, we've got Pulse Bomb, we've got Big Shatter. They've got the Barrier and the Shatter and the Nano. We should be able to do this. Pulse Bomb, that's going to stagger them nicely. Be careful of flank Shatter. Lucio fed, so that's fine. He had Barrier. He's very, very stupid. He's going to flank Shatter. That's what he's looking to do. He's looking to drop and Shatter. He's looking to drop and Shatter. He's going to do it now. He's going to Shatter. Turn your back. Oh no, he's dead. He held it. Fair play. Nice fire strike. Careful you don't get booped off here. So, interesting. We used the barrier there, which kept us alive. We've got wall and gonna have another pulse bomb, but they're coming up on perhaps the better ults here, because they can have the zonal ult of Hammond. They're going to have the Shatter as well. They're going to have Nano. So they should be able to get through this. And they're going to have to sustain with the barrier as well. And our Tracer has just died. Not great. We need to just control. This Hammond's going to use that, yeah. Again, a case of us not tracking ults here. And I know this is high gold plat, so... yeah, I'm not going to be too down on that, but the Hammond was kind of a distraction for us there. We thought, oh, Hammond's in our backline, swing, swing, swing. And when we turned our back, we didn't anticipate Reinhardt ult, and he's just completely put everyone on the backside, and he's going to charge us straight into the mines, which means we die. We've lost this now. I did say that they were coming up on a lot of big ults. They haven't even used them all. It would be a miracle to win this. But, that being said, you did do what you needed to do. That is a good push with that overtime. Well, you only had 1 minute, so that's a really good push with that overtime remaining. And 246 they have. It is winnable now. It is definitely winnable. So, it'll be interesting to see what you play on defense here. I'm very, very interested to see this. Will you go the more Bastion bunker comp like they did, or will you just go with what you've been doing, the Zarya and the Reinhardt mostly? Oh, okay. So it's a bunkerish type comp. We're keeping with the Sim on defense, which is fine. We're also going with the Torb and not the Bastion, though. Torb, pretty darn good. And actually, if they were playing dive, Torb would be a pretty good idea, because Torb is pretty good at not being susceptible to dive. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to do that. It looks like they're going to copy you. And I'll be interested to see how you deal with the Sim TP. With the Orisa, we can be a tiny bit more swingy, if that's a if that's a terminology we could use. You can be a bit more damage orientated with Reinhardt, but we obviously need to know our boundaries. We didn't see anyone with that fire strike. Why did we use it? Remember that fire strike is your only, well, I say your only, but mostly your source of ult charge. So you don't want to be just throwing it out willy-nilly. Really, we want to see a target we can fire strike before we fire strike. Ideally, we want to see multiple targets so we can throw it through, so that we can get the maximum effect out of it. We got nothing out of that. We got nothing out of that one either. Although that was more unlucky than the other one was. That is bad from that Rein. He's very lucky to get out of it. You need to be careful. You're overextending. Oh, yeah. Again, that's ballsy, Mercy. That's that Rein's AFK. Go back to your team. Back to your team. Back to your team. We're feeding again. That's twice. A pick for them on that point is better for them even if they die. Because they will get back faster than you will. Although you have TP, so I should shut up. I forget you've got a TP. But you need to stop overextending. That's twice. This is holdable. But you've overextended twice. One chasing the Reinhardt there, and then one chasing the Sim. And you've died both times. Costing your team res, and then costing your team a pick anyway. Immortality field has gone big. We need to not... We're not looking at a health bar, are you? Are you? You're not looking at your health bar here. You were 100 health. You were kept up by our mortality field. And we walked in swinging into a Reinhardt and a turret. And we died to it. We didn't look at our health there at all. This is lost. But we did hold them for a good amount of time, which means they only have 1 minute to get all the way through to third point. Well, not fully, but... So, we're coming up on a shatter here. We're going to have our window as well. We can combo that pretty effectively. Plus the shatter with the Torb explosion is going to be pretty effective. They put up their wall. Torb is just hammering on his turret. Why is he doing that? Oh, God. That's bumper if I've ever seen it, and you're going to get punished very heavily for that. That was silly. And that is a massive, massive example why we don't do flanking shatters. Your Torb's just going to kill them all, isn't he? Winston is not the play here. I think you're just doing it to get back, I hope. We could have got back with Rein here. Yeah, we don't do that shatter. You got 3 people down, but you died. You got frozen. You got slept. You got purpled. You got everything thrown at you when you died. You're lucky your Torb went so big. And whatever you say, that isn't from the shatter either, because the shatter would have worn off by the time that Torb got those kills. We're going to win this. So over aggressive, definitely over aggressive. Let's just take a look at this from the perspective, right? We're looking at this. What do we see? We see Anna, who has a sleep. We see a Reinhardt who can charge. We can see Azaria, who can bubble whoever we're gonna shatter. We can also see that the Mei, I think is down here actually, but the Mei is in play, so we know the Mei is gonna freeze us. Like, we know this is trouble here. We should absolutely know this is trouble. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's way too risky. You didn't have massive backup from your team available at the time, and it could have been used more effectively. But yeah, you're a little bit too aggressive. I will say that. You've been caught out overextending several times. Your Winston was fairly okay. Your Reinhardt is fairly okay, but again, you just need to rein in that aggressiveness and not do these crazy shatters. These crazy shatters will not work a lot of the time. That's all I would say about that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.